Lead generation. In this business, you always want to have a surplus of leads. The more leads you have, the more opportunity. I mean, even myself, I look at my calendar. If my calendar is empty, I'm panicking. I am having an anxiety attack. But if my calendar is jam packed, which it always is now, because I have a lead surplus, I have more leads than I can actually see. I'm much more relaxed in the sense of knowing that I can create revenue and help a lot of people out. But when that calendar is spotty, I'm like, oh boy, because remember, we can't control if somebody's going to buy from us or not. We can only control our activity to get people onto the calendar. Even when we call them to be like, hey, look, would you like to follow up a schedule, a follow up appointment or whatever it may be? They may say no. So we can only control our output. Okay. We're going to start controlling this by calling more and more people. But how do you get more people to call you? Okay. Now, there's different ways to generate leads in this business. Number one, you can purchase them. You could just spend three, four, five, $600 per lead and hope that they answer the phone. And then you're probably going to have to buy 10 of them. So you're going to spend $4,000 to $5,000 to make 1 to 3 sales. Nothing wrong with that. We actually still purchase online leads. You can do workshops where you host educational events and you talk about Social Security, Medicare, taxes and retirement, whatever it may be, the topic that you're competent on. You can do that. That's going to cost you $2,000 to $5,000, sometimes more if you're buying dinner. So, or you can go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to create referral partnerships. I'm going to outreach to Medicare agencies. I'm going to outreach to financial advisors, attorneys, and CPAs. But that costs you money. And the main thing that those partnerships cost you is time. It's a lot of time to build those relationships. So no matter how you look at it, you're going to have money involved in order to get leads. One of the other values is that there are marketing organizations out there, such as Annuity.com, that actually provide leads to our agents. That's really cool. Now, if you're just starting in the business, you probably don't have a sense of direction. One of the easiest ways to gather a lot of leads quickly and to give you that credibility is to do workshops. Because if you buy a lead online, or even if it's provided to you through your marketing organization, such as annuity.com, you still have to call that person. When you call that person, you're automatically perceived as a salesperson, right? You have to build up quickly to your credibility. But when you do a workshop and you're standing there in front of everyone and talking about, hey, look, I have value to add back to you. I'm an educator. I'm hosting this class. I'm teaching this. They came out of their day to see you. And if you don't buy them dinner, it's even better, in my opinion. They're coming there, spending their time to watch you educate them about a particular topic. You have that instant credibility. This is why the radio works so well. If you do TV ads or workshops, you have instant credibility off the bat and you don't have to overcome this sales guy perspective. Okay. So doing workshops is a great way, in our opinion. And we have an entire training series on workshops. We have interviews with lots of other advisors that do workshops. Everybody has their own different style. The point of it is you need to diversify your marketing and start doing something. Okay. So we do workshops. We get complimentary leads from our marketing organization. We also buy online leads. We have referral partnerships because you never know which one's going to work the best. Sometimes workshops are not that great if it's right during spring break or during summer when all the grandparents, the people that you want to talk to, are out visiting with their grandkids. Okay. Or maybe there's 10 other advisors in your little town all trying to do a workshop at the same library. It can be kind of tough. So you need to diversify and always be consistent with your marketing. Never shut it off. Just keep it going. Keep spending the money on it and keep it going. And you'll know with confidence, like, look, if I can get 15 to 20 people every single week that say they want to meet with me, I know that I won't have any problem supporting my family or taking care of my agents or my team because I know that out of that many people, I can create consistency in my revenue. And that's exactly what we've done. We do everything we can to create more leads, more people that want to see us than we have time in the day because people will cancel, they'll change their mind. And it also gives you that confidence when you sit down with somebody and they're not ready yet. You'd be like, hey, no worries at all. Like even today, this morning, I had a client reschedule on me. I said, hey, that's totally fine. How about we meet again in like 3 weeks? They go 3 weeks. I go, yeah, I don't have time until then. And they're like, well, how about we meet later today? I was like, I'm not able to meet later today, but we can meet in 3 weeks and I'll go over everything. And fortunately, their money where it was positioned was safe as it is. So there's no real big immediate rush. But when you can have that conversation and tell people that they need to wait 2 or 3 weeks to see you, man, it's a huge confidence builder. And it makes them be like, wow, this person really knows what they're doing if they're booked out that far along. When I first started, that definitely was not the case. If they said, "Hey, I can't meet today," I'd be like, "Okay, how about tomorrow morning or at midnight? I'll call you at midnight. When can I talk to you?" Then that came off as being desperate because I was desperate in the beginning. I was starving to death. I'm like, "How am I going to make this business work?" I didn't have a lead surplus. I didn't have all this other opportunity out there. So by creating a lead surplus, you're going to have way more confidence in yourself. The clients are going to perceive you as bigger than what you are, and that you really must know what you're talking about. And hopefully you do. And it's going to be a win win situation all the way around. So, a part of annuityproducers.com, we're going to go through all the different ways to generate this type of lead surplus, the pros and the cons, how much leads cost. We're even going to have people on here that talk about that are actually representatives of lead vendors, okay, online lead vendors, to say, hey, look, this is why our program's different. And that way we can have a comparison. So we'll talk with A, B, C, D, E, F lead providers, and we're going to pin them against each other because the value here is to get the most value for you. And the way to do that is to make these lead vendors become competitive, and they can pin each other and say, well, they don't do this, and this is why we're better. Okay, cool. Tell us more. We want to hear everything we can, because if we're going to be investing thousands of dollars a month into leads, we want to make sure we're getting the best program possible. And the crazy part about this industry, as you may know if you've been in it long enough, certain lead programs work phenomenally well for a long period of time. Then all of a sudden they stop working as well. You're like, what's going on? We don't know. You have to keep changing and pivoting, staying on top of all the industry trends. And that's exactly what we're going to bring to you through annuityproducers.com.